The most serious concussion symptoms are usually ones that don't show up until weeks or even months after a crash. I've seen people that walked away from an accident thinking they got lucky, only to realize later that something still isn't right. And when that happens, it can not only affect your health, but your injury claim as well. I'm Ryan Wynn, founder of Wind Injury Law here in Virginia. What I've learned after helping thousands of injured Virginians over the years is that not all serious injuries appear on day one. In fact, some of the most challenging cases we handle involve concussions and traumatic brain injuries that initially seem minor. Today I want to explain why concussion symptoms can last for months, what post-concussion syndrome is, and why those long-term effects can play a major role in your injury claim. Let's start with a situation that's actually pretty common. You're rear-ended at a stoplight. Your head snaps forward and backwards. You go to the emergency room, get checked out, and are told to rest. A few days later, you think you're improving. You go back to work and you get back in your routine. Then little things start happening. You forget appointments and have trouble focusing during meetings. You develop headaches that just won't go away. You're exhausted by the end of the day, even though you have not done anything physically demanding. Maybe you're more irritable than usual. Maybe you're not sleeping well. Maybe bright lights or loud environments suddenly bother you. This can all be signs of post-concussion syndrome. And the reality is, a concussion isn't simply a bump on the head. The injury can affect how your brain processes information, regulates emotions, controls balance, and even how your body responds to stress. For some people, those symptoms disappear quickly. For others, they can linger for months or even years. That's what makes concussion cases so challenging. Because from the outside, a person may look completely fine. No casts, no visible injuries, but they're struggling every day with headaches, brain fog, memory issues, and fatigue. And unfortunately, insurance companies often try to minimize these injuries because they can't easily see them. Our client was involved in a crash and initially thought they would recover quickly, but weeks later, the symptoms were still there. The headaches continued, concentrating became difficult. Simple tasks suddenly took more effort. Their family noticed changes, their coworkers noticed changes, and most importantly, they noticed their lives were not the same as before. The insurance company wanted to treat it like a minor injury. We knew better, so we made sure our client was getting the proper medical treatment and seeing the appropriate specialist. We worked closely with their doctors, gathered medical records, documented the ongoing symptoms, and showed how those symptoms were affecting their life and their ability to work. Because a concussion claim should not be based on what happened in the emergency room. It should be valued based on what the injury continues to do to somebody's life. After building that evidence and telling the complete story of the recovery, we were able to recover $3 million on their behalf. Not because they had the most dramatic injury on day one, but because we were able to prove the long-term impact of what it had on their future. If there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this. Just because a concussion seems minor at first does not mean the effects are minor. Some of the most significant symptoms don't appear until weeks or months later. So if you've been involved in a car accident and you're dealing with headaches, memory issues, dizziness, sleep problems, or difficulty concentrating, do not ignore those signs. Get the medical care you need. And before making any decisions about a settlement, make sure you understand the full impact of your injury. Here at Wind Injury Law, we help clients who have suffered concussions and traumatic brain injuries understand and receive the full value of their claim. If you have questions about your case, give us a call. We will listen to your story, explain your options, and help you understand what comes next. We are Wind Injury Law, and we're here for you, Virginia.